And what is up? Welcome back. It is Friday night. You're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I am joined here with my two dudes, Trigger and Brian D from New Jersey. What is up, my guys?
Yo, yo.
What's going on, man?
What it do? What it do? How's you guys' week?
Long, very stressful.
Robert already in the comment section.
Yo, honestly, I don't think any comment is gonna get better than Rob's first comment. That is fucking amazing.
Yo, Mark Safe from LA Fitness.
All right, listen. What do you guys feel about that? Do you guys feel like how do you guys feel about 6ix9ine? This is a detour. How do you guys feel about 6ix9ine finally getting his due justice?
Oh, man. Right, listen. What do you guys I think that is like the funniest shit because he went on all these fucking podcasts and shows and just like glorifying the fact that he was a snitch, right? Like he was like, yo, all these other people snitch. Like they caught this dude lax, right? They caught this dude lacking and everything like that, and all this other shit. Like, but here I am, I'm still making my money. Like, fuck them, right? Like I had my own life to look out for, right? And I was like, well, I mean, you're not wrong, but I mean, like the game that you play, dog, like they're gonna catch up to you. Like it is gonna come. And lo and behold, bro, in a fucking LA Fitness, dog. Beat that ass.
All I gotta say is the streets are a wild place to live. Bro. That's all I gotta say. But the thing is like
homie got caught lacking, bro.
I told Rob, I was like, you know what? Like more than likely, we're gonna find out that these two dudes that jumped him have nothing to do with the situation. They're just dudes that are like, you want to be a snitch? My daddy taught me never to be a snitch, and now you're gonna get your ass whooped and all that stuff. And it's like they're not part of the drama though. Like it does go deeper than what it is, and I mean, whatever Tekashi's done in his past, like he does mess with some bad people, and we don't know if he's still connected with bad people or whatnot. But like, those other two dudes, like going into an LA Fitness, like kind of with cameras and all this other shit, like that's a business, man. Like it's just when you kind of tie yourself into that, then yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like those guys are gonna get some shit coming to them a little bit later, but I mean, Tekashi 6ix9ine out there just playing games. It is what it is. You can't play games like that and be that famous and not expect some random dude from like Walmart to jump your ass like when you least expect it. What I want to know is like where was his like protection, man?
So from what I know is that what happened is he ran into some random guy at this gym, and the guy made a slick comment to him and expressed to him that he was part of the Latin Kings. He was part of the Latin Kings, and to which he said, "Fuck the Latin Kings." Da da da. So, old boy called some of his Latin King friends, and they
all came through. Yeah,
and they jumped.
Well, one of them came through, right?
I think it was like two of them.
Yeah, because what I saw in the video is just he's getting his ass whipped by two dudes, right?
Yeah.
So recording. Yeah, so it was kind of one of those situations that no matter whether or not he was a snitch or not, he just ran his mouth to the wrong person. He ran his mouth to the wrong person at the wrong time.
And this dude's like 4'2", like he's soft. He ain't about that street life like that, man. Cause but did you see the way they crushed his fucking stomach, dude?
That rib stomp, that rib stomp, that definitely broke a rib or two or three.
He fucked it. Like I guarantee, like Tekashi 6ix9ine in trouble. Like that's like you can fuck your whole intestines up. Like that kind of stomp. Like that's
I'm hearing online like that was fake and it was like made up.
You cannot fake
that stomp. Like that stomp to his ribs and the way that he reacted, that broke a rib, dude. Like
well, that probably did more. It could have ruptured the intestinal tract because of the pressure.
A lung, dude. That could have easily hit a kidney or something.
Yeah, that dude put some weight behind that stomp. Like he got that shit. Like he got that shoe close to that dude's spine midway. Like that was an ugly fucking stomp, man. That was like straight, like that's one of those things that shit'll change your life. That'll make you see God a whole ass of the way.
That'll change your life.
Yeah, that'll change your motherfucking life right there, man.
That'll change your perspective
singing career
on life. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that'll fucking change your life hardcore, man. I guarantee, like Tekashi never knew that your ribs could do that shit.
Yeah, I honestly, I thought that it was fake, but then when I saw the actual footage of him getting beat up and
Yeah, you were like, nah,
the
that's not
way
fake.
that the way that the dude stomped on his rib, that to me was a red
That was
flag.
one of those Anderson Silva breaking his shin moments
Yeah,
against fucking Chris Weidman. I
Yeah.
felt bad for him when he got stomped like that. I was like, yeah, that guy's gonna go to hospital.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
Tekashi 6ix9ine's in bad shape.
because when you're watching it and when he got stomped on his ribs, like you're watching for the reaction. Like he stomped on his ribs and he stopped
coiled.
he stopped guarding his face for like
Boom,
a
and he just
good,
like rolled over.
yeah, because like his ribs were fucked up. Like,
Yep.
wow. Well,
Yeah, so
I mean, what are you gonna do?
I like the Martin Lawrence meme. I think that's my favorite thing out of all of this. The one that has Martin Lawrence all beat up, like,
Oh, with the face.
oh,
Yeah,
dude, I love that one, man. That's my favorite.
that was a great episode.
But like, I guarantee, like, LA Fitness probably gonna get fucking sued out of its mind for not having some type of security.
Now, all right. Now, why is it LA Fitnesses? And I've been hearing a lot about this. Like, a lot of people are calling for the girl that let the guy in to get fired. Why is that her fault? What the fuck was she supposed to do? Stop him?
Oh, I mean, in the process of it, like, she's I mean, she's not gonna, I don't think it's her fault, but there's protocol. She can't stop the dude, and you can see her in video being like, hey, you can't come in here. You have to register like everyone else and put your name down. And the guy's like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna go kick this guy's ass.
And
then
so
I'm like, okay, I'm not expecting a 4 foot, 100-pound asthmatic girl to go stop a dude. Yeah, she ain't gonna do that. But security though, where was security? Like, that's a company. Tekashi 6ix9ine, no matter how much of a snitch he is, that's a celebrity guy.
Where's
That's like,
his security?
Yeah, well, not only that, he's supposed to be in witness protection for all the shit that he did.
No, he declined.
Oh, so he's not in that anymore?
No, he declined witness protection.
Oh, okay.
And so, but do you?
He had to make his money, dog.
And
Yeah,
I understand,
that's fine.
like, do you understand how much it costs for security? Like,
Oh yeah, dude, it's expensive.
it's very expensive. So if
Yeah,
you, all right, let's just put this into perspective. Let's say you went to a LA Fitness with security, right, and realize that there's no one threatening there. It's 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock.
You went to go get a run in or whatever.
No one's there. You're not gonna run into anybody. So
Yeah.
then you're like, all right, you know what? I don't need security for
True.
this place. That's probably what happened. He probably
Yeah, I
went
can
to
see
this
that.
place thinking that no one was gonna be there, and there was someone that was there, and it popped off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but that's stupid of him because he's a celebrity and he did some stupid shit in the past, and you kind of don't have that luxury anymore of just being like, let me go to a Stripes real quick and pick up a Mountain Dew or whatever. Like, you don't have that anymore, because then you forfeit you forfeit your street life, man, when that shit pops off. If the number one thing that people know you for in the streets is that you're a snitch, like, more than anything else in your fucking life, like, just imagine
security.
Yeah, dude, you are a rapper and a dude that always has security with you no matter what. Like that, it's so crazy to know that people know him more as a snitch than a pedophile. You know what I mean? Like, that's over that. Because you remember that situation that he was in with the young girl, right?
13 years old.
Yeah. So, and people put the snitch part over that. If these two guys would have jumped in and been like, you wanted to touch a 14-year-old, bro? I'm ready to fuck you up. I would have heard that. I would have been like, oh, bet. Yeah, he deserved it. Fuck him up, dudes. Get him. Get him. I would have just, everybody, LA Fitness, the lady at the register would have been like, oh, okay, you're going to go fuck him up because he touched your girl? Go get him. I don't care. And then everyone would have been like, cool. The mayor would have been like, key to the city, LA Fitness, and girl at the desk. Like, they would have been like, all right, cool. Like, fuck him up. But everyone's going for the snitch story, man. I don't give a fuck about him being a snitch. Fuck him up for being a piece of shit person. Like, the snitch part's like, oh, whatever, man. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the kind of content you get here when you come to the Average
Right,
Boys
dude.
You heard
podcast.
it, boys. You heard it here first,
When you come
man.
here, this is what you get.
Snitches get their fucking
You know what I
stomach
mean?
stomped in.
There you go.
Yo, the other one was that fucking show, Jump something. Alan 44, Alan 22, or what's that fucking
Oh,
dude's
no
name?
jumper?
Oh,
Yeah.
Adam
No,
22.
Oh, dude. And that's because that was a big
How do
fucking
you guys know
podcast.
about that? Like, that's so.
I don't even
that's
know.
so-
I don't even know.
Dude,
I-
okay,
I
How do, you
watched
guys know,
five-
how do you guys know about that? Like, I'm tapped in, but how do you guys know about this?
I dabble. I dabble.
So I got turned on to No Jumper. Believe it or not, not by his wife.
Porn.
Because not by Lena, but because I
porn's our wife
been,
for
like going like just scrolling through YouTube, and I have no idea what the fuck was on my For You page that day. But he interviewed this guy, 1090 Jake, and 1090 Jake is like a white blood. Like he's like
1090 Jake is very
he's like
famous.
one of 3 white bloods in the entire fucking like nation, right? And like, dude, he's a full like legit blood member. Right. And I watched the entire show and I was like, well, let's see what's up with with fucking Adam 22. And then I saw some other crazy shit where he got a fucking gun pulled on him. And, and then there's also Sharp on his stuff as well. And I'm like,
Sharp.
Yeah.
I got a story
Sharp
for
Tank.
you. I know exactly what got me on that show. And that was like these 2 rappers. One was on it and he was sitting in a chair and he's like,
fight.
Yeah, man, I don't fucking know you or whatever. You don't know my name, bitch, or whatever. And the guy goes, bitch, what'd you call me? And he stands up and just starts punching him. And Adam 22 is like, oh, fuck. And he just like gets up and walks away. And I was like, damn, that podcast is on fire. Just people throwing rounds.
Bro, you should have seen the Blueface and fucking, was it
Chris on?
Yeah, Krishan podcast, dude. She like ruined the set.
They're wild, man. Some of these fucking people are just wild on their podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're just talking comic books over here. I don't think that's ever gonna pop off in comic book world. Now with us.
Who would have knew? Who would have knew this would have got you guys so amped early on in the podcast? That's great.
What I had heard now is that they're calling out that Adam dude for being inappropriate with kids or some shit like that now, right? So now the whole show's getting fucking wrecked. And now there's like a group of like dudes from like other shows that are coming up that are like, yeah, we kind of casually knew, and they're throwing them in the bus, but why didn't they come out and say anything when they found out the first time?
So not to kind of turn off our listening viewers or whatever, but just as a backstory. So Adam 22, I'm very interested in this. I am an avid fan of the No Jumper podcast. I listen to all of the podcasts that are on there. There's multiple podcasts that are on that channel. He got into some waters because he's trying to turn his brand into a different avenue. And he started interviewing neo-Nazis and this and the other, but the majority of his staff are African American. They're not with it. So a lot of them jumped ship. And so now he's by himself.
He's fired a couple of them on the show.
He fired one, but the rest of them quit. He is in a bad spot with his brand or whatever. So listen, it is what it is. But these are the things that you need to watch out for when you're starting your own channel, you're starting your own
brand or whatever,
your own brand and things like that. Like certain things in your past and certain things that you do, especially when you are trying to present yourself to a, how do I put this? To a
generalized audience, man.
Not even a generalized audience, but you have a very specific audience that is African American. Let's call it spade a spade. Like No Jumper.
Well, you have a particular demographic then.
Yes, your demographic is African Americans. Period. Like let's just call it spade a spade. A spade a spade. And then when you start doing weird shit like that, it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass, bro.
Yeah, most stuff, dude. Most stuff. It's just weird because like I heard like someone else from like that morning show, the breakfast show, like one of the dudes on that show. Club. Yeah, the Breakfast Club.
Smith, a bitch.
I had heard like one of the dudes on that show was familiar with it, like was familiar with Adam 22, like messaging underage people. And he just kind of was like, yeah, like I kind of knew, or it came out that he kind of knew that shit was popping off.
That's weird.
And in my opinion, is like, why didn't that motherfucker just come out when it happened? Why let it cook? Why let it pop off? Why let it get out and then come out and be like, yep, like,
yo, Saul, good shit. Bobby Lee is in some hot water too. I'm so glad that we were talking about this because Bobby Lee is another weirdo. Like, I don't like Bobby Lee at all, man. I used to like Bobby Lee and like I used to like him, but after what's been coming out, I don't know. And also, if you guys ever get a chance, I was talking about it on my Instagram. There's a new documentary about Jared from
Subway.
The Subway
I
guy.
saw you pop out. Yeah.
Dude, that shit is cool. If you guys ever get a chance, just take a watch. It's 3 episodes. It's wild. It's oh my god. Honestly,
so crazy.
I had no idea
Hello,
what the fuck
sweetheart.
that guy was doing.
It's so crazy when you start seeing a lot of these people that they're not educated or anything like that. They're just coming off and doing like what we're doing, where we start a talk show, a soapbox, and then they start talking about the shit that they kind of like, and it just doesn't sound normal. And then they try to like have to like sell it. It's just really weird. Bobby Lee was one of those dudes like back in the day where I had seen him act a certain way. He made this show, and it was called like what was it called? Kentucky Fried Movie or something. It was like a really offensive comedy show. And there was a bunch, even Michael Clark Duncan played like the big gay virgin. Like it just really dumb shit. And it was very like obscene comedy. And Bobby Lee came out as like an Asian porn star or whatever. And he would come in and like come through a wall. And I was like, oh, this guy's pretty funny or whatever, right? And then I would see he did like a Kim's of Comedy or like an Asian Kings of Comedy, and his comedy shows were pretty good. And then something happened, and I don't know if it was after Pineapple Express, like around that era.
Okay.
Where like he started just being very awkward comedian, where it was more like physical sexual stuff or being overly just
Shocking.
awkward.
It was like most of his content is just like overly shocking. Some type of like introspective revelation he had from his childhood that was just like shocking.
Yeah. What was it like his We're Bad Friends podcast with Andrew Santino or something like that? I forget the guy's name. Man, he's talking about how he sent Kate Hudson and her husband pictures of his dead dad. Because apparently that's like a thing in Korean culture, like to photograph the deceased, right? And he like sent those pictures because apparently he's very good friends with like the Hudsons or whatever. And he was like, yeah, my dead dad. And so they were like, don't send that to me. Like, why the fuck would I want to see that? And like, like, I mean, like he's
you can never tell if it's a real joke or not.
And Bert Kushner, and then like Joe Rogan, and like. And then, he also just got like broken up with Kalela, his girlfriend for a long time. And like, I think after like his breakup, like things got really weird for him, like really weird.
Yo, is that true though? Yosemite Sambo put Bobby Lee used to fuck 12-year-olds in Tijuana. Is that true?
I don't know, but you know what? Fuck Bobby Lee. Fuck Jared from Subway. Fuck Adam 22. Let's get on with 12. The show. Let's go. Yeah, fuck 12.
Why is no one jumping Bobby Lee at a fucking Subway at 12 in the morning or whatever?
Because his relevance is so slow.
It's not even that though. He definitely has the cloak of comedy. Like, oh, this is all just comedy. Oh, this is just jokes. Da, da, da. I mean, it is.
Tell that to Louis C.K.
No, dude, tell that to all those dudes that are getting their fucking asses kicked trying to do those like TikTok pranks. When they go up to gangsters and they try to mean mug them and shit, and the gangster pulls a gun on them and shit.
Yeah,
dude, I love seeing those guys get their shit kicked in. I love that shit. I'm like, bro, why the fuck would you do that? Like,
it's just that
knowing that you're going to fucking like get your ass beat. Oh, it's a prank. It's a prank. It's a prank. I don't give a fuck if it's a prank, dude. Like, do you realize where you are right now? Like, it's real crazy.
It's like what Brian said earlier. It's like shock value. It's like that shock comedy because they know. The more shocking it does or is in person, the way it's going to be online and the way people are just going to gravitate towards it when they see it on social media.
And see, look, so I know he said that on his podcast, but there's really no proof. So as of right now, it's just comedy. Yeah, it's him trying to be a comedic, and it's not landing well. So
that is not a funny joke.
As of right now, that's all that we can chalk it up to. So that's what I'm saying that it is.
Yeah, look at Inky Crow, man. What's up? Thank you for joining the podcast on Twitch. He says, "What's more shocking is them getting 2 in the chest." You're not fucking wrong, dude. I'll tell you that. He says you don't even have to. Yosemite Sambo says you don't even have to be in a bad area. You can just get your ass whooped or shot anywhere. Yeah, man, that's absolutely correct. I don't know, man. Like, it's just a weird time that we live in that people find that to be more of a way to make popularity out of yourself instead of using.
Is it though? Is it though? I don't think so. I think it's very dictative of our culture. I think like that is what gets you views. That is what gets you recognized. That is what gets you views, and that's all that it matters.
But isn't
Views
it the idea
matter.
of making sure that, because then it takes in the concept of like building a brand or anything like that, or doing like what we do here on the podcast, it's about being able to connect to your audience and then retainability, or getting people to stay and watch and contribute and invest into your show or into your brand or whatnot. And the way you do that is to continue to bring something to the table, right? And I'm a strong believer in thinking that it used to be about skill. And now it's more about, okay, cool. Like if I grab my camera right now and I run out into traffic and I run backwards and forwards, people will watch it because there's some desire to want to see me get hit by a car and me risk my life for a couple of views.
My opposition to that is the majority of the people that are making money off of YouTube, money off of Instagram, money off of Facebook, the skill that you're talking about, they don't possess that. They possess the shock value, the views, the things that are gonna get retweeted, subtweeted, things of that nature. Like
Sal says
that's
why people in the film industry, instead of helping when someone is in trouble, they want to do it for the views.
That's the world that we live in.
Yeah. It's sad, man. It really is.
Like, I understand your values, I understand your perspective, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not what moves the needle anymore.
Inky Crow says, if you go down that road, then you go towards like the Jake Paul stuff in the previous gen, where he was like in the suicide forest and doing that stuff, where like that was a huge thing in his life, and he fucked his whole entire life.
He's not allowed back in Japan.
Yeah, Japan doesn't even want him anymore.
Yeah, no, like, and he's said that multiple times on his podcast. He's like, oh yeah, no, I can't go back to Japan.
Yeah.
And seeing where he is right now, he decided that was a trade-off.
Yeah.
That was worth it. So it's kind of like a sacrifice thing. It's like, are you willing to sacrifice your dignity, your moralities, your all of it
for the views,
and to become rich?
Yeah. And now look at him. He can't go to Japan, but he's like,
who the fuck wants to go to Japan if you're fucking Jake Paul at this point?
Yeah, if you're Jake Paul, like, yeah. And Inky also says, yeah, but this new generation didn't have Gorecom and shit. Yes. Oh, man, dude. Speaking of Gorecom, did you hear they're making a Faces of Death movie?
Why?
Do you remember this? Do you remember Faces of Death?
No, but like a documentary?
No, a movie. I
don't want to see a movie.
I want
to see a documentary about it.
Why though, dude? That was so bad growing up, man.
It was so bad, but it was interesting on why that was made. It was interesting to like if you give me a documentary of the people that started that shit and why they started, I will watch that.
Like, okay, you remember that shit back in the day, right?
Of course, yes.
Now, I 100% believe this, and I don't know if anybody else thinks this way also. Some of it was real and some of it was staged. Like, some of those videos were like actual like things, and I don't want to say what they are, but they were real situations that happened to people. And then some of them just look fucking fake as hell, like just fake bad in a way. But if they were going to make it into a film, which is starring the dude that was Max's brother in Stranger Things, the guy with the curly hair, what was his name? I forgot his name. What was the brother's name? Not Steve.
Who cares, dude?
Everyone cares, Brian. Everyone loves that guy. He was the Red Ranger in the new Power Ranger movie.
All right, so we're gonna spend the next 20 minutes trying to figure out who the guy's name is, or you can just continue your story.
Yeah, no, I'm not fucking fuck that guy.
Exactly, man.
He's playing one of the characters, and I'm like, when I saw it, I was like, wait, is he gonna be like a show person, like a documentary guy? But no, it's gonna be a straight movie called Faces of Death. What do you guys think it's gonna fucking be about? Is it gonna be a Final Destination or what?
Yeah, I'm not interested. If you give me a documentary about it, I'll watch it. I'm a documentary whore. I love documentaries, and especially about fucked up shit like that. Like I said, the Jared from Subway shit was
Was
wild.
wild.
Honestly, I am all for the weird and the obscure documentaries about people getting fucked over. That one kind of fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie. That one
That's
fucked
so
the
weird.
Jared the Jared from Subway thing fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie, yo.
Wild, wild boys, wild boys. Oh,
It's a
his
good
name is.
introduction.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's Billy. Billy. At least with the ability to show what actually happens. Oh, I guess, man. I mean, I'm not really into like. I don't want to see people get hurt, though. You know what I mean? Like that's where I hate to see. He had too many subways. Straight. Wait, what was the fucking documentary about though? The one about the subway guy, Jared. Was it about all that fucking pedophile shit or what?
Yeah, it's basically about him being a pedophile, about the people around him being a pedophile. Um, honestly, it's weird because he was sentenced to 15 years, and the people that were supplying him with the underage pornography got more time than he did, which is super fucking wild. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's on Discovery Plus. You guys just watch it. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you about it because it's too much. You guys go watch it, check it out if you want. If not, I understand. Do what you want.
You know what's really fucking crazy? Kind of like a side note, going into our next segue into our show. I sat down and actually watched like the first 3 films of the Hunger Games yesterday.
Why the fuck would you do
I've
that?
never fucking seen the Hunger Games
Ever.
and I saw the first 3 movies.
The first one
and
was cool.
I was pleasantly pleased.
The first one was cool. I like the first one.
Yeah. No. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, holy shit! Like this fucking movie's like, there's some action, the story building, the character development, and some of these people like the politics, the way that they're doing everything. Like, I see what's up, dude. I see where all these crazy chicks back in the day were all in turmoil, buying shirts and being all about it and shit. Like, I thought it was all right. I'm gonna see the last one, hopefully, probably tomorrow or something. I'll see the last movie, which I was fairly impressed. But the reason why I bring it up is because I enjoyed those movies more than the entire Phase 4 of Marvel. Bringing us into the next part. Marvel is in some turmoil this week. Brian, wasn't that a great segue?
It was, and I saw you doing it like
You
right before you said it. I knew that's what you were doing, and you know what?
Dude.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I like it though. I like it. I like it.
All right, tell me what's up, boys. All right, so this past week we had a pretty crazy situation that happened. Marvel in turmoil with the firing of Victoria Alonso. Brian, are you familiar with this? And Triggs, are you familiar with this?
Not very. All I know is that it happened.
Ooh, very nice, very nice. Brian,
I am familiar with it. So do you want to lead this? Do you want me to lead this? What do you want to do? Because like I think either one of us can.
well, I mean, you have a little bit more understanding on who Victoria Alonso is.
Yes.
I kind of just got the grasp of it, and for me, it's one of those things like this ain't the only chick that's gonna get fired. I'll tell you that much. It's coming, man. But break us down who this chick is, because I don't know who she was, but she's been there for a minute.
So she's been there since the beginning. She's been there for a very long time. She is literally described as Kevin Feige's right hand man. She's the second in charge. This is the closest you can get to firing Kevin Feige at this point. Victoria Alonso has been she is or was, I should say, in charge of the VFX department and also the diversity department when it comes to hiring certain actors or certain people for certain things. So if you want to go down one avenue, she's the reason why you have such diverse characters in the MCU. And then another avenue that you want to go down, if you want to, the reason why the VFX crews are bitching and complaining about having no time to do what they need to do and just being badgered all over the place. So there's a lot of people that are happy to see her go.
Oh shit. But I mean, I don't understand. Okay, like how is it that people are good to see her go when she's supposed to be a positive with the whole like diversity and things like that in the concept of them bringing in more gender fluid or people of color or any of that extra stuff that Disney's been wanting to add. How is it a bad thing?
Well, I think this is a very interesting this in itself, this avenue is very interesting because like a lot of people don't feel as though it's contributed to anything. It hasn't really done much to the brand itself. A lot of people are saying that. I won't say that I personally believe in that, but a lot of people are saying like okay, so you were in charge of diversity. What has that done for us in the MCU? Like what
That's a good question.
What good has that done for us in the MCU?
Because that's a really good question, especially since, if I'm not mistaken, all three of us are people of minorities.
Last time I checked.
Yeah, last time I checked, I'm not exactly the demographic that gets chosen a lot of the time. But like in the aspect of it, like in a breakdown, just real straight up, and this goes out to anybody in the comment section too. Has it done anything for us? Like just in general, like I mean, I'm not saying like maybe if we were actors or maybe if we were like in an opportunity where us being up there, like, and them needing to hire more people like that would benefit us. But like, we're down here, just the audience. Has anything that Hollywood has made in the last, 10 years, 15 years, that has done something where like they change the color of a character or they change the gender or whatnot? Is anything like that? Has it been the idea where it's changed anything?
I don't want to look at it in a macro sense like that.
Okay.
I kind of want to keep it in a vacuum and pertaining it to Victoria Alonso specifically, because if you use it in a macro sense, I think I will definitely have a difference of opinion with you about this. When it comes to keeping it in a vacuum, when it comes to the MCU and Victoria Alonso specifically, I think no. I don't think there's been a huge difference in the product that has been placed in front of us.
Okay.
But in a macro sense, I do think it's beneficial. I do.
Okay. So you feel like it's been a good thing?
I do.
Okay, cool. Triggs?
So I'm reading reports and looking
Fuck
up
the
articles.
reports. I want your opinion. Fuck them guys, man.
Dude, but I'm not going to give an opinion without facts.
Being involved.
It's facts. Yeah.
You know,
I got it.
I don't want to be ignorant to the situation.
I'm ignorant all the time.
So first and foremost, this is Bob Iger's day. Secondly, Kevin Feige from close sources have said that Kevin Feige actually had no problem with this happening. He did not.
I actually heard that he might have even kind of
streamlined it.
Had made this happen. Yeah.
It's from reports, he did not intervene.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will. And lastly, obviously being blindsided by this, but apparently she was being also kind of on the back burner with a lot of stuff that's been coming out since the pandemic.
Yeah, so I'll clear that up.
Yeah.
I know what he's saying. So not only was her roles directly involving in the diversity of the MCU and the VFX, but again, she was the second in charge. So she was overseeing a lot of things. So
what she was specifically, other than like like also in charge of VFX, she was in charge of physical production, and post production.
So a lot of things went through her.
Yeah, she makes it look good to give to Kevin Feige for him to sign off and be like, release it.
Yeah. So again,
was she actually watching the shit she was putting out? Because they all suck.
Obviously not. So again, she was Kevin Feige's right-hand man. So
but that's the thing, is apparently she was a lot more hands off this time around than like previously known. So they're probably just giving her shit, and they're like, "This is the best that we can do," and she's like, "Well, fuck, man. Like, I mean, you can dress up a turd any way that you want, but it's still a piece of shit, you know."
You think it's that fatigue though?
You know what? And I love that you asked that question. And this is going back to what I've been saying for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I understand that all these other people have all these other different jobs, but it ultimately falls on Kevin Feige, bro. Like that is where it starts and stops, bro. Like if you're hiring these people to get you where you need to go and they're failing, that is on you.
Yeah,
that's on you.
Yeah, it is. Straight.
And Bob Iger only has 2 years. He has until 2024 to get this shit turned around.
Yeah, back to normal.
His contract is only for 2 years. He is going to make sure that by the time he is done, that everyone that needs to get fired is gone. And if that means that as Kevin Feige, this honestly, this was a warning shot. I said this to you guys in the chat. I said it in the Discord. This was a warning shot to Kevin Feige, bro. I told you last week he was on the verge of getting fired, and Bob Iger saved his job. This was a warning shot. This was the closest you can get to firing Kevin Feige without actually firing him. This is like, yo, bro, get it together because I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning house, bro.
And you know what? This also correlates to the idea, like I was saying off camera, that I kind of feel like this is also like letting people know, like Kathleen Kennedy, like that her seat is not safe.
She's done.
Like just because she's up there, people do not like Kathleen Kennedy.
She's cooked, bro.
Like
that's a whole different story. But she's cooked.
Yeah, because I don't see that chick lasting in the next 4 years.
So this
she has 2 at best.
This is a very interesting fact. Kevin Feige, Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, all their contracts are up at the same time. All of them.
Yeah, because they all came in around the same time, no?
Yes. And they all re-signed at the same time as well. So all their contracts are up in 2024. All of them.
Who do you think stays? Who do you think goes?
I think
Kevin Feige's going to stay.
I think honestly, if anyone stays, it will be Kevin Feige. But I don't know, man. I don't know at this point.
I think the guys from the Mandalorian show. What are those guys' names? Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I think they stay. I think Dave Filoni gets pushed up or Jon Favreau gets pushed up and they move Kathleen Kennedy out.
If Kevin Feige was smart, he would bring Favreau back into the MCU, bro.
I mean, I do that, and this goes off of the idea, like I keep saying, it's been like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and I'm like, the Russos in some way need to come back and at least be like supervisors or something. I don't care. They give them an extra chair. Like you don't have to make them producers or whatever, but like those guys are the ones that had a better image of what the MCU needed to be. Right now, I don't know if you guys heard, but recently the rumors are after the whole entire the Marvel Reddit situation, which happened last week, where Marvel tried to sue the Reddit page or whatever, where people get their news. There was a big dump of information that happened, and one of them was that Secret Wars is going to be a trilogy. A trilogy. I don't even see that movie being a single normal movie right now with the way that things are going. But it wants to be a trilogy. And where it's going to end is that the next phase of movies is going to be based on Battleworld. Like, that sounds dumb as fuck. I fucking hope that's fake.
Why?
Like, can you imagine that after Secret Wars, like it ends with a bunch of multiversal movies that don't make sense or correlate to each other? That they could just do whatever the fuck they want, and then later on have like another 15-year fucking gap of bullshit movies, and then be like, yeah, we're gonna consolidate it all back together into one thing and reset the whole thing. It's like, dude, that's way too much, man. That's way too much. Like, just get it done with the actors you got now. You know, the original 10 actors, like some of them are still around, minus the great Chadwick Boseman, who passed away of natural causes. But that gives us the opportunity to use these people till old age or whatnot, or you know, whatever age they can get to, that they can continue their character roles, and then recast them in, you know, 5, 6 years, 10 years, and then revamp your whole entire situation again or whatever. We understand that the multiverse is a big thing. We understand that the Secret Wars setup and the Kang Dynasty is all that thing, but I don't want it to drag on. We talked about this right after Infinity Wars or Endgames, all three of us. And we talked about them not having another 10 years to create a story. Do you remember that? And what did we say? 5 years at the max. Like they need to get it done in 5 years, 6 years.
Why though? What I remember the conversation, but I don't remember being on board with it being on the cap for 5 years. Why did we agree on 5 years?
Because you even said like I don't want it to be another 10 years. They need to get that shit done in a faster sense. And I was like, how though? Like that's the question is like how do you get it done in a smaller amount of time? They did an amazing job in 10 years.
Okay.
But we understood that the actors in 10 years and nobody wants to be stuck like that.
I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback here, right?
Yeah.
Because like I feel like I do remember the conversation, right?
Yeah.
But that was in the sense of we are going to move forward with what we have here. They haven't really done that.
They haven't done anything like that.
They haven't really pushed forward with what we've been through the last 10 years.
Yeah.
That kind of makes it a little bit different.
Yeah.
If you tell me right now that they want to I don't know. They're talking about slowing down. Like that's where we are. That's how disconnected everything is. Where they need to slow down to figure out where they're gonna go with this,
or at least fix what they got.
It fix
because they still have to. They still have to. They still have to manage with what they've created already.
Exactly. That's
fucking rough, man.
We didn't envision that after coming off of Endgame. We didn't envision that they were gonna be in this situation.
Nah. I remember us saying it'll be a hard follow-up. Like making a movie that's going to be as grand as Infinity War Endgames and then coming back and having it all go back to like a rinky-dinky like adventure that the audience would be kind of like, it's back to being just some regular shit. And we were talking about, I remember us saying, like, how do you do it? Like, how do you keep people engaged? How do you engage them for the next big thing? And I think we just said like, well, you have to, because we have to take those two movies as a time in cinematic history, like an event, like an actual event. Like that's like the Disneyland of movies. And then you go back to regular filmmaking. But it's just a really hard follow-up. It's like you have a badass comedian and then you got to follow up after him with some cheesy mid-level comedian. It's like people, it's rough.
If you told me that after Endgame, that in phase 4, the content that we would have to watch the most looking forward into phase 4 moving forward was Loki, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah, no shit.
No one was looking forward to the Loki show. If anyone on this show tells me they were looking forward to the Loki show, I'm gonna call you a fucking liar, bro.
Wait, don't take that wrong though. Not looking forward to it because we all looked forward to it. But saying that was like the pinnacle of phase 4.
Fuck out of here, bro. No one looked forward to that show, bro. We all thought it was cool. We all thought it was cool. That's what I mean. We would have watched it, but no one thought
no one was gonna pinnacle that
out of the slate that they released. No one was putting that at the top of their list, and that ended up being the best thing out of phase 4.
I think what was really the thing that people were looking forward to was what Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, because of the Wanda story.
Trash.
Yeah, well, yeah, it ended up being really bad, but I think that was like the pinnacle of the story. Well, you know what? Even as a matter of fact, who would have thought that Shazam would have beat? I mean, not Shazam. Shang-Chi would have beat Doctor Strange too, and that's being that he was an Avenger in Endgame. And it had Wanda. All the heavy hitters, dude, like the Illuminati was in it for fuck's sakes. Patrick Stewart was in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like those people.
John Krasinski was in it.
John Krasinski was in it playing a fan fiction favorite. And Shang-Chi still did way better than it. Like, I'm not saying, I don't know by numbers or by box office shit or whatever.
It was a pretty
I'm just saying in format, it did a fucking great job. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just really disappointed in where Marvel is right now. That's the easiest way I can put it.
Are you disappointed to the fact where you're turned off, or are you just disappointed thinking that they can turn it around?
Oh, they can turn it around.
So you haven't fully given up hope yet.
No, I mean, it's better than what we got in the 2000s, than like the first Fantastic Four, the first X-Men movies of Fox. Like all of this stuff is still better than those times. And I managed to rewatch those and check them out and have fun and just chill out. Like
Tricks, tell me what you think of the state of Marvel as of right now, coming off of phase 4. leading into Phase 5. Where are you right now?
Phase 4 has lost a lot of its steam.
Okay.
A lot of its steam. And you know, like I know that it's super popular to shit all over Marvel right now. And as much as I want to give benefit of the doubt to Marvel, I can't, right? Because like I mean, ultimately they've lost a lot of their steam. For me, like the highlight of Phase 4 was, you know, No Way Home, Falcon Winter Soldier, and whatchamacallit, like pretty much that's it. You know,
Crazy.
you know, like Doctor Strange was kind of cool only because like they mentioned incursions, and I was like, Secret Wars, got it. They're gonna go with Secret Wars, and then they were like, oh, we're gonna go with Secret Wars, and I was like, I fucking knew it. And then they mentioned that shit again in whatchamacallit, Doctor Strange, where they talked about incursions. And I was like, yep, they're definitely going with Secret Wars. And if not Secret Wars, they're going with Time Runs Out, which is, you know, yet again, one of my fucking all-time favorite stories in Marvel ever. You know, Secret Wars and Time Runs Out are like, to me, pinnacle, top-notch storytelling when it comes to Marvel.
So, Triggs, let me ask you, how do they fix this? Let's say you were on the writing board, let's say they were coming to you, hey, Triggs, how do we fix the state that the Marvel universe is in right now? What would be your best advice to them? What would you say?
Is to go back to their original format of giving us stories that had more impact on the character itself instead of the overarching story. Okay. Because you started noticing that with Winter Soldier, where Winter Soldier started to like come into like, okay, there's a lot more in the world going on and stuff like that. And I get it, right? At that point in the storytelling, you know, verse, they needed the world building. So I understand where they were coming from. My thing is that why not go back to the original format of telling the story about the character, make it impactful, and then give us how all of them come together in a single story that involves a lot of them. Now, we had that happen a little bit yet again in Winter Soldier. In Winter Soldier, where we started having, you know, several characters start peeping in, and then we had a little bit more
plots, a lot of plots coming in. Yeah,
and then we had a little bit more when it came to fucking Age of Ultron, you know, where we had some of that. So it was cool. Then we got, you know, like, okay, this is exactly what it's going to be. This is where we're headed. This is what like the template is, and this is how we go and set ourselves into Battleworld. Because all we know is three things. Time travel exists, the multiverse exists, and there's incursions. 100%. Past that, no one knows a fucking thing about anything.
They haven't built on anything in Phase 4. Chris, I want to present you with the same question. You are a writer or an executive producer in Disney, and they're asking you, what would you do in the MCU to make things better? What's your answer?
First, I would go and try to find a backbone team that can give me a solid lead up, a pathway to our eventual ending event, which would be Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars, and have everyone on the table and see the pathway. And then ask people, okay, now that we understand where we're going to go, and it's not just, hey, let's just let every director do whatever they want and sprinkle in whatever they need for that moment to be effective, and everyone is on the same game plan. Let's now get the writers involved. Bring in a group of writers that'll start to develop stories for each one of the characters on who's going where in the next setup. Okay. And then from there, of course, bring in, you know, the CG team, ask them what we're capable of doing and what we're not capable of doing in the amount of time that we have, and go from there. Because I think what they've done now is, instead of having a bare bones team of people, like I've always said, like the Russo brothers, when they wanted to get to the Avengers, they brought everybody into a big room and they laid everything out on the table and they said, this is what we're getting to. How do we get there with these films? And everybody came together and laid out plans. Hey, well, we could do this. We can sprinkle a little bit of that in the cross story. We can do a movie solid with no information about the full end, but then at the end we can bring in someone to do a post-credit scene that leads up to that story. But the entire story by itself has nothing to do with the end game or the Avengers lead up. It's just those little parts that feed to that. My thing is, I think there is no backbone other than Kevin Feige. So everybody finishes some shit and goes to Kevin Feige and goes, hey, what do you think of this? And he's just like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. Like, did you put Kang in it somewhere? All right, good. Like, print it or whatever. Like, he doesn't want to deal with that shit. He wants someone or some people under him that do that for him. And then they go to him and say, hey, look, this is what this person brought, this person brought. This is where it leads to. And he says, oh, cool. That sounds great. Sounds like we're going in the right direction for everybody. I think that's what Marvel is missing.
See, part of me believes that he deserves the right to do so at this point in his career. Yeah. But then at the same time, another part of me is saying, yo, fuck you, because all you're doing is bringing in these Rick and Morty fucking writers, and they're fucking your shit up for you.
Yeah, they're trying to take the easy route, and they know that they're about to jump into something like the multiverse stories, right? And they know that through success of the rankings and numbers and stuff, that Rick and Morty, highly successful in maintaining a multiverse story or situation. And they're like, dude, well, if these guys can do it, I mean, fuck, who else? We don't know anybody else that can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's bad to go with. That's fucking horrible to stick as, because those guys are more comedic to the idea of making fun of what a multiverse can do, rather than making it a coherent story, like a masterpiece, like something that's going to be like James Cameron writing something about the multiverse. You know, I don't know, name any director that makes fucking amazing movies and have him do the multi. I mean, look at that. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, Steven Spielberg writing something about the multiverse. Like, you think about it and you're like, damn, like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see those guys write something in that nature. Like, I don't know, like, there's just something about it.
Yeah, I just think that for me, the biggest letdown in Phase 4 was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You had a big opportunity there to expand, to really play with it. to really expand what you guys had already, and I don't think they really did that. And that was at the helm of Waldron. And Waldron just got re-signed to do more projects. So I don't see where any of this is going to change. That's my issue. Again, that is falling on Kevin fucking Feige, dude. Like, I hate to say it, dude. I hate to say it. I love Kevin Feige. I love him to death, dude.
Are you sure?
I do. I swear to God, I do. But it
Michael
might be time
in the comment section.
It might be time for him to go, bro.
Well, I mean, you know what? It's not even that. I think Kevin Feige's still good.
He's not good. Like I said. He's not. You can't put out Phase 4 and say that he's still good.
Mr. Betancourt, I would have to say, what has been done with this, with the Dark Tower series since what, 2016?
Stephen King. He's like, fuck it, give it Stephen King control over the multiverse. I was like, yeah, the Dark Tower.
Well, no, because like, if you know anything about the Dark Tower series, it's very multiverse like.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it's all the Kingverse.
Well, like, it's actually very, very based on Arthurian legend, and yeah, so like, you know, Knights of the Round Table and stuff. But yeah, there's a really big multiverse, like when it comes to the Dark Tower like universe.
Okay, so let me ask you a question: do you have more faith in Stephen King or or someone from
Dark Tower movie sucked?
But just listen, hear me out. Do you have more faith in Stephen King or do you have more faith in a fucking Rick and Morty writer?
Oh, dude, Stephen King.
All right, then. So what are we talking about? Like, that's not.
Yeah, but Stephen King's a novelist, not a screenwriter.
I mean,
that's
not that far off.
Did you like the movie?
That's
It?
not that far off.
Yo, well, did you like the movie It?
No.
You didn't like any of the new movies, the recreations? The
No.
Mist. You don't like
There you
anything
go,
from
Mike.
him.
I was gonna say like Triggs,
Yeah,
you're bugging.
he has
Triggs,
a fuckload on his list for
you're bugging.
For even though he's a novelist, he's not going to be some slouch about writing a. It's not
you're
hard for
bugging.
him to just make it into a script.
But
I
but he ain't the screenwriter for The Mist, Salem's Lot.
I would
Dark
say
Tower.
he's not a director. Like you don't put him in back of the camera, but you just bring in a better director.
This is the one. This is like a very rare occurrence where I agree with Michael Betancourt, bro. Like I am on board, dude. Like I'm with you, dude. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys because they brought in fucking Sam Raimi and they couldn't save it. So I don't know if you guys know that Sam Raimi is like hands down a fucking fabulous director, and he could not save Doctor Strange 2.
Calling him a fabulous director is a gross overstatement. Sorry.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing. He does an amazing job for what he does.
No, he for what he does. He does not do a great job in the MCU.
No, he didn't do a great job in the MCU. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but as a director, like that's just saying, like, it's just peas and potatoes. Like he's a director. He can make movies.
Yeah.
But for some reason he couldn't make a Doctor Strange 2 movie work. And I guarantee he had a huge draw.
You know why it didn't work? Because when you go to see a Doctor Strange movie, you're not looking to see a fucking Sam Raimi film movie. That's why it didn't work.
I mean, I get it.
And we all took that leap of faith.
Yeah, because the horror aspect and
we took that leap of faith saying, "Oh, maybe they can make this work."
Yeah,
but
maybe they can work.
It didn't work, bro.
And that I don't know who to blame. That I mean, is that
Kevin
Feige's fault?
Feige. I've been saying it for 3 weeks now, bro. This is the guy it starts with and ends with. I think it's time, and I again, Drix kind of called me out on it. I love Kevin Feige, bro. Like I appreciate everything that he's given me thus far, but it might be time.
It's about time.
It might be time, dude.
Yeah, it might be time.
It might be time, dude.
But what do you think it does? Can you imagine right now if he jumped ship? That would be horrible for Marvel.
How worse can it get, dude?
Where
Exponentially.
Yeah, I was gonna say where like everyone loses face in Marvel.
How when in phase 4 your biggest thing was a fucking Disney Plus series that no one was looking for in fucking WandaVision and fucking Loki.
He goes to DC, Cacho.
Honestly, man, like even though you say that, I mean their biggest release so far has been No Way Home.
All right, but which one did you enjoy more?
No Way Home.
I forgot.
Yeah, but that's Sony though, man. That's
No Way
Sony.
Home. Don't get me started. We're not gonna do this. We're not doing this today.
Yeah.
We're not doing this today. We're not doing this today.
And I shit all over that movie already.
We're not doing this today. Me and Chris disagree with you on that, but I think as a consensus,
it's okay to be wrong, gentlemen.
It's fine.
That was a great show.
Listen, that's fine.
That was a great show.
That's fine. But I think the consensus is that WandaVision and Loki probably the standouts unanimously in phase 4. Am I wrong about that?
No, I won't. You're definitely not wrong. I would have to say personally that WandaVision was the weaker of the two, even though the consensus really is that WandaVision was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Don't see it, but okay.
Hey, well, what about Wakanda Forever? Wakanda Forever went really well.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought that was
also
a good movie compared to Doctor Strange 2. Like, Brian, come on, for
what
real,
dude. I wasn't a big fan of Wakanda Forever, dude. Like, it had its moments. It had its moments.
It's true.
But it was kind of bad, dude.
The thing is I just feel like you can literally tell that Marvel like cradled Wakanda Forever more than any of the other movies. Like they wanted it for it to work. Like they put all of their like eggs in a basket for that movie to be successful.
Yeah.
And I just think that the way they handled it, they could have done it a little bit different. But Riri Williams, I don't think she was a good part of the movie. Namor was an interesting standout as a character into the Marvel universe. I just don't know what they do with him from here on out.
Yo, but is this what Marvel expects us to do at the end of Phase 4? Is to pick the bad apples and think which one is
You have to,
the
yeah.
best? Is the
That's what
best
they're
tasting
expecting.
one?
They're just dumbing down the audience.
That's not the then what are we doing then at that
Yeah,
point?
that's what we got. That's what. And if you don't like it, you're a Nazi, or you're some type of asshole, or some type of degenerate that doesn't appreciate works of art, or inclusivity, or some stupid shit. Like, you can't just say the movie just is stupid. Like, you can't just say someone did a shit job, because the accountability is never there. The accountability is never there. As a matter of fact, fuck it. Let's jump to the next subject, because it correlates. I went to go see Shazam 2. And I even spelled it wrong, because I don't give a fuck.
Tell me
I
about
had it 2 ways.
How did fuck that movie? I don't care how you spelled it. Tell me about it, yo.
Fuck that movie. You know what? I liked it. I thought it was all right.
Everything in that movie.
I'll spoil it, dude, because I'll spoil it. And you want to know why I will spoil it? Because no one's gonna watch it. No one's gonna fucking watch it. It's done, dude. It's done. Even the fucking company's already like,
the numbers are already out. No one's watching that movie. But go ahead.
Look, I'm gonna tell you 100% where this movie went wrong. This movie went, because this is a beautiful family movie. They are not wrong that it's a good family movie.
It's a family movie. I said that.
It's a beautiful fucking movie. But you know, the problem is you have fucking 19 Superman on film doing 19 Superman things. And you have another asshole that's like, well, I want to fight Superman and I don't want to be in that movie. But there's fucking 9 other Supermen in this film. Everyone has goddamn Superman powers. That's not entertainment. That's boring as you know what they did in this movie? They started the fucking movie off with everybody with powers. And for them to have a good finale, they removed everybody's fucking powers and left the main character with his powers. Why the fuck? And then at the very end, when he comes back and gets magic, he gives everybody their fucking powers back.
Bet.
Why? Why give them their fucking powers back if that's the part of the story that you want to remove? Like, who like, okay, first Shazam movie was fun. Everybody liked it. So fun or whatever. Woo! Who gives a fuck about the Shazam family? Like, straight up, I want to ask, like, did you really come up to bat when all the brothers and sisters got the powers?
I'll play ball. I was kind of looking forward to a Shazam 2 that kind of built on the family aspect of everyone with the Shazam power. Yeah, I was.
Who's gonna stand up against them?
Who cares?
Like,
I mean, that's your job. I don't know. That's their job to figure it out.
In the DC landscape that's gonna win a box with fucking 7 dudes with Superman powers.
I mean, Black Adam, but I mean,
Black Adam by himself. I mean, I get it. He wants to fight Superman. I'm cool with that. Or he wants to fight Shazam, or doesn't want to, but he doesn't want to fight Shazam.
Rob, hold that thought.
All fucking 8 of his family members.
I'm about to be on autopilot until we get to that point, because that's where I'm gonna explode. But
look, all of it's dumb as fuck. I'll straight say it. All of it's dumb as fuck. Look, Shazam's problem is that no one knows or has any idea what Shazam as a character is about. The only thing that Shazam does very well is he works really, really well with just the Justice League.
Yeah.
By himself, fucking garbage. There's nothing for it. You got to have him fight a wascally rabbit, or you got to have him fight some stupid motherfucking villain that's a centipede with a helmet or some shit. Some just stupid, unrelatable shit. You're never going to be like, wow, that's really cool.
Wait, I'm not going to let you just gloss over.
Yeah, you're going to hear me say, because there's literally a wascally wabbit. Yeah, there's a wascally wabbit in the fucking Shazam story, dude. Like, don't even start with me. But like, that's what it is, dude. Like, his character was like a Rin Tin Tin, old school 1940s Superman cartoon character. There was never a thing until like kind of like in recent comic books. Actually, I'll tell you where the switch was.
Come here.
Tell me.
Kingdom fucking Come. Kingdom Come for Shazam was probably one of the most awesomest fucking Shazam stories. Because it put into surface that Shazam could stand up to Superman. And like literally come to fucking like almost like cripple his ass, because that's where they came through that Superman has a weakness to magic. The Rock has a contract that states he just can't lose. Like, that motherfucker always has to win. So he goes into the Justice Society movie as Black Adam, and what does he say? Yeah, I'll do this movie, but I got to be the biggest actor on the shot, and no one can tag me. So he's literally just beating the shit out of Hawkeye, Hawkman or whatever. Doctor Strange or Doctor fucking what's his name? I fucking forgot.
Dr.
Yeah,
Fate.
Dr. Fate is like taking his helmet off, making jokes, cracking little knickknacks here, trying to tell him like be the Black Panther, show him who you are moments or whatever.
Yo,
Black
I'm
Adam.
sorry. I enjoyed Black Adam, dude.
There's nothing wrong with that movie.
I enjoyed that movie.
But the problem is
Tricks. Did you see a movie?
Did you see Black Adam?
No. Oh, Black Adam? Yeah, I saw it.
Did you like it?
It was not
okay.
Horrible.
Yeah, you see, like it's in the same boat. Like it's just one of those things that, yeah, it's cool. It's The Rock playing a character. Like The Rock isn't a draw, dude. Like the guy just literally, I would have liked to see him without a leg like the other movie. Like show me something that he's got some turmoil in him. This movie was like,
My biggest thing about the Black Adam movie, and I'm glad that I got to see this, because you kind of see it, except it just didn't happen that way, was so originally in the comics, it's it's Adam Tet and his son who get powers, right? It's the two of them. And he kills his son to get the remainder of his powers and keep them.
Yeah, to absorb that shit.
So, I mean, obviously in the movie, his son dies, but his son dies after he gave him his powers because he's like, you're better suited to do what needs to be done right now.
I don't know how, man.
Blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, like, that was kind of cool to see. And, like, skinning him up, which was also really funny because, I mean,
That's where all the CG money went.
Fucking huge. But
that was someone's job for the day, man.
One of those things like where like the story felt very dragged after a while. I was like, dude, if I'm Black Adam and I'm trying not to kill people, there's a lot of crushed bones that I'm just gonna where's this? I'm not telling you. You want to say that again?
Snap some shit.
Yeah, are you going to say that again? I'm not saying it. Okay. One more time before I start crushing skulls. Let's hurry this shit up. I got shit to do. I've been awake for fucking 20 minutes and I'm hungry. Let's do this.
So, Chris, being that you're the only one that's seen both movies, Black Adam and Shazam, which movie was better?
I think Shazam 1 hit a little bit better.
I didn't ask you. No, Shazam, not Shazam 1 or 2. Black Adam or Shazam 2. Which movie was better?
Both of them are useless as fuck.
Which one was better?
Fuck. I like the edginess of Black Adam. I like the edginess because it was like cool music and explosions and all this other shit. I'm not gonna lie, there's a really cool ending scene in Shazam 2, and it's where he's fighting that fucking dragon. And I don't give a fuck. I'll spoil it because it's a stupid fucking movie. No one's gonna watch it. If you haven't seen it, you haven't cared. You're not gonna watch this shit. They put themselves in a bubble and they bring that bubble into a smaller area. He's fist fighting the dragon. He's carrying the staff. That was dumb as fuck too. But he's carrying the magical staff and he's kind of like charging it up. I don't know how, just by he's shooting lightning bolts and they're bouncing off of the wall and he's just charging it up. And then he flies into the dragon and yells Shazam and blows everybody up and blah, 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 kills himself or whatever, sacrifice or whatever. Just typical superhero shit. But that scene, cinematography wise, there are some like Zack Snyder wallpaper shots of him like standing above the dragon, him floating with his hands open and you see the crest. His costume's all burnt, so he kind of resembles Black Adam's costume. So like there's a bunch of like beautiful scene work in that part of the movie. But like I said, everything
we got that in Black Adam as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say everything past that is like it doesn't make sense. There's a girl's power. You've seen her in the trailer. The young girl that like has her hands out and she has some shit on her hands. She's one of the Sisters of Atlas. And she has this power to do like the Doctor Strange crystal world. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But it's physical. Like the shit she moves around, like she can use that to dodge bullets or teleport people in the real world. And it doesn't explain to you, like, why doesn't it blender every fucking person in the buildings and everyone else in the city that's spinning? Like it doesn't make sense. Like that power doesn't make sense. And then there's like the dragon. The dragon's cool as fuck. It looks nice. The cinematography, the CG of the dragon. But Lucy Liu sitting on the dragon looks so fucking horrible. It looks fucking horrible.
The only reason why I brought up, or why I asked you, the reason why which movie you thought was better, whether it was between Black Adam or Shazam 2, is because there has been some controversy over this past week pertaining to those two movies. Triggs, are you familiar with the hoopla and the spiciness that's been going on in DC pertaining these two movies?
So I wasn't originally. I kind of just caught myself up in the past like hour or so,
Okay.
kind of like trying to, stay current and stuff like that. But I had heard about it previously because like what I'd heard more of was just Zachary Levi defending the movie, right? And so good on him for doing that, dude. I mean, like if you're passionate about a project, awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people are going to say that maybe this isn't the project that you should be so passionate about, but hey, he is, Black Adam. Sorry, fucking Dwayne Johnson was as well about Black Adam, and now he's basically shitting all over it. Yeah. And, because Dwayne Johnson is in the position that he's in and was, let go of the position that he was in and, fought so hard for Black Adam to get made in the first place. I mean, like I completely understand where Dwayne Johnson's resentment with the current DC, leadership is, granted, I mean, it is what it is, like I really hate to say it, but it's show business, not show friends.
Okay, so just to clarify what's going on, there was a post that was put on to Instagram that tagged Zachary Levi, confirming that basically more or less The Rock didn't want anything to do with Shazam during the Black Adam movie, and he didn't want him in the post-credit scene. He also didn't want the Justice Society? Is that what it is? Justice Society League? Is that what they're called? He did not want them in the Shazam 2 post-credit scene, which ultimately led to James Gunn having to reluctantly, quote unquote, putting his wife in the mid-credit scene as well. So there's been some hoopla saying, kind of insinuating that the reason why Shazam has been doing so poorly is because The Rock didn't want to play ball and have Shazam involved in his project. To that, Chris, what do you say?
Well, I mean, there is possibility of there's some really petty shit going on. And the petty shit, of course, is like, I mean, I get it. The Rock is a high-end action star and wants to be like the way Arnold Schwarzenegger was. Where when Arnold Schwarzenegger was making movies, he was like, no one's going to be taller than me or bigger than me in my films. I win. I look cool. He had set values for himself as an actor to not be just he didn't want to get typecasted in like stupid roles. So he made it to where like his characters were like highly intelligent people in society and then just played into the comedy or whatnot. And we've seen that before with The Rock. The situation is The Rock does not understand that these characters all have their individual backstories that have been laid out really well. And the problem is Black Adam is not a do-all Thanos character. Mm-hmm. He's not an end-all character to have the entire Justice League go against him.
Nor has he ever been.
Yeah, and
nor has he ever been.
Because I think we talked about this once. Like, what has been like The Rock's big break when it comes to films? Like, what is this guy thinking that he's like, let me carry the entire DC universe on my shoulders? What has he had in his acting resume that gives him that kind of work?
It doesn't matter. All right, he is the highest paid actor in Hollywood. That's all that matters.
That's fine. That's fine. It's who he is as a pool. Rampage. There you go. Rampage. I mean, that's cool, but that's the way he's carried himself as a businessman and a brand. Now we're talking about skill as an actor. What has he done that's at that level to be like the guy that played Josh Brolin, right? The guy that played Thanos. Mm-hmm. What has he done that's close to that? Jonathan Majors. What has he done that's close to that? Like, I mean, I'll lay that on the table. What has he done acting wise? That's anything close to those guys where they say these two dudes can carry an entire franchise. I believe in it.
Well, Jonathan Majors, if you want to ask me specifically, I'm a huge Jonathan Majors fan, and I think that everything he's been
No. What I'm asking is, what has The Rock done?
Okay.
To consider himself to be an actor that can do that.
Okay.
That can do what they're doing, because that's their role in those universes.
Tricks?
Josh Brolin carries the Marvel universe in the entire phase in the beginning.
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors is chosen to choose for the next factor. The Rock wanted to do that with Black Adam.
I can totally answer that, but I've already explained how I feel about certain actors. But I want to know what do you think about what that? Answer that question.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it was his big break, but I think it was his franchise carrying clout status was when he entered the Fast and the Furious franchise. Bingo. Now, granted, I hate to use that franchise, right? But here, I'll even put out
that franchise
their
makes
their
that was a
that makes money.
Fuck that. I'm gonna co-sign you. That franchise makes fucking bank, bro. So of course, if you're involved in a movie where you are the Rock and you're involved, you're gonna be like, yo, that movie made money because I'm the fucking Rock. Da, 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 da. Next thing you know, he's the highest paid actor. How are you gonna tell that? How are you gonna tell that man you cannot do what you want in your movie?
I'll raise that.
Box office numbers for the films that he's been involved in, right? So he came out in Fast 5, right? From Fast and Furious, from the Fast and Furious to Fast 5, he doubled their numbers. It was at a little bit more than 100 million. He brought over 226 million. Fast 6, 238. Fast 7, 353 million.
Now, Chris, you're an executive producer that's making movies, and you want to make a movie with The Rock, right? And you go to him and say, hey, I want to make this movie with you with those numbers that Triggs just said.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You are bending over, right? You're going to actually hand The Rock the lube and allow him to do what the fuck he wants to do at that point.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I'm going to look at it and be like, hey, man, he's The Rock. Let's get it. And then I'm going to see what he produced with Black Adam and then see the numbers and see what it came out to be. And then be like, hey, you know what? Get the fuck out of here.
But you didn't know that beforehand. So
no, I didn't, but I learned my lesson.
So this topic that we're talking about happened during the making.
Yeah, the rundown is so good.
During the making and prior to the release of Black Adam. You couldn't tell Dwayne Johnson anything at that point, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, after Black Adam came out, you saw he did not have it. Like, that's just what it is. And I don't even think it's based on The Rock. I think it's based on the DC universe just struggling to kind of stay up afloat.
I will agree with you.
But the thing is it, like I said, when it comes down to it, them hiring The Rock does not associate with the idea of them needing people with skills to build. And if I was going to tell you, if both of you were a director and I brought you The Rock and Jonathan Majors, who are you going to choose to act out a role?
Fair. That's not
Why is
fair.
that not fair? They're both actors.
They're
both actors, and The Rock's the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
They're both actors, but one is better than the other. So that's not fair.
Look, let's not be too mean to Jonathan Majors. I know The Rock is good. Okay. But look, it's just one of those things. Like, The Rock, after Black Adam, should have just been like, hey, you know what? Like, all right, I did my chance. You know, let's try to save what we can and let's do some shit because I got some bills to pay or whatever. And then the opportunity for Shazam to work as The Rock wanting Black Adam to work, he should have played ball. Because I don't think anybody cares to see The Rock fight Henry Cavill. But I think that there's a line for people to see Shazam fight Black Adam.
I would have seen Black Adam fight
any of them.
Fight Henry Cavill.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's Henry Cavill. I don't want to see it for The Rock to fight him. I just want to see
All
Henry
right.
Cavill and Superman.
All right, listen, enough. Let's give the people what they actually really want to fucking hear, bro. Like, was this some bitch shit that Zachary Levi said that shit on Instagram, bro? Was this some bitch shit?
I think it's petty between all of them. I think they just need to quit their politics shit and just run it. Like, just run what they need to run. The thing that I was more disappointed with was that DC as a company was like, yo, look at Tom Cruise, love the Flash. Like, right on opening night of Shazam 2. I thought that was fucked up.
Tricks,
I thought that was real fucked
Tricks, was that some bitch shit that Zachary Levi co-signed that Instagram post burying The Rock in what he did?
I'm not gonna say that it buried him, dude, because I mean, to be completely fair, homie's already dead. You know, if anything, this is just putting more dirt over him.
He's throwing more dirt on him.
Flip him over.
I was about to yell at you, like, what do you mean I didn't bury him? But now that
just poking him with a stick already. God
damn. I mean, like if like Brian loves to say, if we're gonna call a spade, you know, he's just pouring more dirt on him. You know, he's definitely pouring some more dirt over him. All right, you know, like, I mean, what Zachary Levi did, I thought it was like, wow, bro. Like, I mean, I get it because, like, yeah, dude. I mean, if you're gonna like, well, you didn't put me in your movie, or the fuck should I even mention you in mine, punk?
Yeah,
fuck you then, punk. You know, like, why? Because
more
you
sense,
like why? Because you didn't want to have family friendliness in your movie. Fuck you then, punk.
It made more sense to have Black Adam and Shazam than anyone else. They brought in fucking Gal Gadot, and then when they brought her in, you guys would have laughed your fucking ass off, dude. Cause it's funny, dude. It's funny the way.
My ass off thinking that they thought that was gonna get people into the fucking movies to see that movie.
So the first part is like the Wonder Woman scene. There's two of them, and the first scene is like mid movie, where Billy Batson is having a dream that he's on a date with Wonder Woman, and they're kind of like at dinner, and Wonder Woman's asking him about joining the team, and he's like, "Well, what about us?" and all this stuff. And then Wonder Woman's character stands up and walks away, but you don't see her face. It's like the Superman callback.
Like the Superman
in the first,
shit,
yeah, like the Superman callback. And then she's walking away, and he's like, "Wait, don't go! Like, you know, there's so much I want to talk to you about, like us and all this stuff." And then all of a sudden, like the Wonder Woman turns around, and it's fucking Dijin, or what's his name, the fucking wizard guy. Like his face is on Wonder Woman's body, and he's like, "Billy Batson, you gotta be aware the sons of the daughters of Atlas are coming." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And he stays Wonder Woman the entire scene. It's so stupidly funny. Like, that was like, for him to be a sport to do that, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the movie, after everything's kind of run and done, we do have an intro of Gal Gadot coming out, and she looks so tired, like just so fucking tired. Like, you could tell she practically didn't want to be there. She didn't even do like makeup. Like, you know how like sometimes they'll hide this, like this part of the eyes. Mm-hmm. Like, she just looks so tired. And I don't know if it was during like the fucking like her pregnancy. Like, I know that she had a baby around that time. So I don't know if it was roughly around that time period in her life that maybe that's why she was a little tired or whatnot. But I think that there was a lot of missed opportunity for the Wonder Woman story also, because what would have made sense is in the first movie, he breaks the staff of magic or whatever, and then he leaves it there. And then that's like the whole thing. Like, that's how the Sisters of Atlas get the staff, is that he leaves it there and they just take it to a museum. And it's like, well, that's fucking stupid. Like, why would you leave like a fucking nuclear weapon in the middle of a fucking, what was it, like a carnival? Like, why would you just leave that in the middle of a carnival, even if you're a fucking child or whatever? Someone had to be an adult and be like, yo, don't leave that staff there. That's dangerous for people.
And he has the wisdom of who is
Solomon.
It? Yeah.
He has the wisdom of Solomon, the whole joke. Which I don't even understand.
And like nowhere in there, he like, maybe I should go pick
Maybe I should pick this up. Well, what happens is like they pick it up and they take it to a museum, and then the sisters go in there and fucking kill everybody in the museum with the power. Like, they just fucking nuke everybody. And in my mind, I thought it would have been way more cooler is if that staff ended up in Diana Prince's museum, and then she puts it out like in the museum. And then that's why she shows up at the end, because she's like, "Hey, I made a mistake. I should have come to fix this, but I see that you got it." You know what I mean? Like, that would have been like, oh, okay, cool. Like, she had a reason to be here. But like, yeah, it's just it's really weird the way it all kind of pops off. I think the movie just like
Let me
for
ask you
what
a
it's
question,
worth, and I
Chris.
think I said this to you earlier. I kind of feel like DC allowed Zachary Levi to run this movie the same way Ryan Reynolds ran Deadpool,
Yeah,
but
except Ryan Reynolds'
it did
Deadpool was
not work
way more
out.
successful.
Let me ask you a
It did
question,
not work out.
Chris. After you watch this movie, during the end credit scene or at any point during you were watching this movie, did you say, "Hey, this movie would be way more cooler if I got a scene that involved the Justice Society League"?
No, not at
So what
all.
the fuck are we talking about then?
What do you mean?
What the fuck is the actual problem then? If you're telling me that the movie that you saw would have not actually made it cooler to see the Justice Society League, what the fuck was the point of Zachary Levi doing that then?
Well, I mean, okay. So there's the two teams. There's the Justice League and the Justice Society that's established, right? And what I'm thinking is
Don't
the
think,
Justice.
don't think, don't think, don't think. Keep things in facts, in factual. The problem is with
Oh,
with
dude,
with with,
Superman.
with the post that was put out.
Yeah.
The fact that Zachary Levi did not have access to the Justice Society League is the issue. That's the reason that this movie is tanking. That's his issue with The Rock. That's his issue with Black Adam, is that he did not have
Well,
access. Listen, he
the way
did
I
not
see it
have
is that's his
access.
way. That's his entry. That's his entry to stay relevant in the
But
DC
I'm
world.
asking you,
James Gunn.
I'm asking you, in this movie that you saw, if you got a cameo from the Justice Society League, would this have made this movie better?
No,
All
not at all.
right, then. So
It wouldn't have done anything because the movie either way was not. It's like mid. Like you know what? And I told people I went with my best friend John Castillo. Shout out to John in Corpus Christi. We got to go see it at the Animal Draft House, and I went with Christella. I really believe that if this movie was an independent film like Hancock, badass movie. But knowing that it was part of the DC universe, and you knew that there was not going to be any opportunity for this character to be correlating in any way to anything the DC universe is doing in the future, it just made everything so irrelevant.
Yo, we don't even know if there's gonna be another fuck. He doesn't even know if he's gonna have a fucking job next year. Triggs, are you understanding my question here when I ask?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, you're blaming Dwayne Johnson for not putting you in his movie and for not allowing you to have the Justice Society, but yet the Justice Society League would have added no value to
it.
fucking your movie. What are we arguing about? I don't like the fact that, listen, we talked about it, and I specifically said I thought it was weird that when James Gunn got hired, The Rock went dark. He didn't say anything. He took his L like a fucking man. He took his L from Black Adam getting really bad reviews. He took that on the chin like a man. I respect that. Okay. He didn't say anything. He didn't blame anybody else. He didn't put anyone under the bus. He took his L and went away like a man. Lost his job publicly like a man. And now you're gonna go kick him while he's down? I would have never have thought in a million years I would have had to have defended the Rock in any sense of the imagination. But yet here I am defending him from the likes of Zachary Levi, who's caping for his butt boy fucking James Gunn and Peter Safran, who might not even have a job next year, bro.
Yep.
That is wild to me.
Yeah, true that. But in the aspect of it, my only concern was like, why would The Rock, even though it doesn't have any value to it, why deny it the opportunity to fix whatever it is they're trying to fix?
Because you know what? Fuck it. That's his shit. You know what? Let's just talk it up to that. That's his shit. This is my movie. I don't want you in it. All right. I don't believe that you earned your place in my movie. That, number one, I don't think you earned that. Number two, The Rock was under the influence. He was going to be in charge of DC.
Yeah, but he didn't get it.
I understand that. But at the time of him making that movie, he did not know that. Right? That's another variable in this that needs to be acknowledged, right? He thought he was building his own DC universe and he did not want Shazam in it. right?
Why?
That's his prerogative. He was given the leeway. They gave him that leeway. They gave it to him.
I don't know how.
They brought it to him. They brought it to him like, hey, we want Shazam in this movie. He says no. He says no.
Mhm.
If you were so concerned about your DC universe, you are going to The Rock saying, hey, you're making this movie, but we're putting Shazam in the movie, regardless.
Yeah, regardless of it, yeah.
But you gave him that option because you knew what you were hiring when you were hiring The Rock. You gave him full autonomy. You gave him full oversight over what was happening. So if he says he doesn't want it, so then that's the choice he made. You gave him that choice.
A little bit of pushback. So they didn't put Shazam in Black Adam.
Okay.
Black Adam doesn't do well. It doesn't do as best as it wanted to do.
It did better than Shazam, by the way.
Why not play ball and just come out in Shazam even though your shit didn't work? Because they wanted him to be in They wanted him to be in Shazam, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, they wanted the Justice Society League to be in Shazam.
So why couldn't they put in the Justice Society after Black Adam and The Rock weren't in charge anymore?
Yo, dude, Shazam was done like a year and a half ago. When they were making Black Adam had full autonomy over everything that was in that movie.
Oh no, I get that.
So when they're making Shazam as they're making Black Adam and they're asking for the Justice Society to be in the movies, The Rock says no. You can't have him. No, it's not gonna. It's not gonna be. No, I'm using it because he was under the. Again, you got to take everything in totality. He was under the influence that he was going to be making a new DC. He thought he was going to be in charge of everything. So he did not allow, and they gave that ability to him. I understand that. Just follow me. Just follow me. He thought if he did well in the Black Adam movie, he was going to be given the James Gunn role. Right? Are you following me there? Right?
Yeah, I got you.
So when he's making the movie, right, they're making Shazam 2 simultaneously. They're asking for the Justice League Society to be in that movie. He says, no, I want it. This is my shit. I'm going to build around this thing. Stay the fuck away from it. The Rock, you know what? You got it. We won't touch it. Right? Black Adam tanks in their eyes. Right?
Yeah.
So now Shazam's already done. It's already in the can. Right? So now they need a post-credit scene. So now James Gunn gets hired. He puts his wife in there because they didn't have time to or whatever. However
yeah, they just threw it.
How the fuck you want to dress it up?
It was the wife and the big nerd guy.
However you want to dress it up is, which I think is bullshit. They did still have time to put the Justice Society.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no, they had more than enough fucking time to do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's confusing. Like,
why do you
even
think
after the Rock shit?
But Chris, why do you think I keep saying quotations? They didn't have enough time. That was just an excuse for him to put his fucking wife in the fucking movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is all fucking.
It's messy.
This is all bullshit. This is what I'm saying.
All fucking messy.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah,
and then for you to blame it on The Rock is wild to me, bro.
No, I mean, I can see where society or people are blaming The Rock for this shit, but like, it's not his fault.
Trix, what is your thought on this? Because I'm getting amped up over here over this bullshit. Like, this makes no fucking sense. It's all fucking bullshit, and it makes no sense. What are your thoughts on this? Please tell me.
I mean, even though you claim that Dwayne Johnson, took his licks and took his, removal from DC. Well, the thing is that like his statement was still trying to elevate his ego. Like you had you had a star quarterback and a star and a star coach, and like sometimes you still lose games. Okay, you're a star player. Your coach wasn't. Sit down. Secondly, you didn't take it. You didn't take it as well as you think you did. You went radio
that was
silent.
Like the red carpet, right?
Huh?
That was like at a red carpet thing, right?
Or some shit.
No,
either way.
Good. Yeah, good.
Yeah, either way, he went radio silent. He could have been, there's a million different ways that he could have gone about doing what he did. I'm not saying that he's in the wrong, and like especially after so much time, turmoil, and bending over backwards and trying to get people to like, adhere to certain things and finally getting your project made after what, 13, 15 years or some shit like that, and it tanks, you're going to be bitter. Okay. I get it. You're going to get mad. And, like, why wouldn't he be? But at the same time, it is what it is, dude. Like, you put too many eggs in one basket that you probably let go of a whole lot of other projects that could have easily netted you way more, and that you could have easily given that same kind of passion to, but didn't. It ultimately falls on you. And
and I honestly think that he took it on the chin like a man. I think that yes, the human reaction would have been all right. I am from the perspective that he all but knew that he was going to be handed the DCEU.
I'll agree with you on that. Like, I really, really will. Had things been in the exact same position or stayed with the current leadership that it was at, then yes, I'm sure that they would have given him the keys to the fucking DCEU, and they would have been like, hey, what are your thoughts on such and such? Henry Cavill would have been back. Who the fuck knows? Maybe they would have restored the Snyderverse. Whatever, but it didn't happen. And that's super shitty. Super, super shitty. Because, I'm one of the very few people who, like, really saw the potential of the Snyderverse and would have loved to have seen it, like, come to full fruition. But it didn't happen.
All right.
I'm also not going to cry about it.
I totally understand. I'm trying to keep some, like, open objective here because I think this is all bullshit. But let's just slow it down. All right, let's slow it down. Let's just put it in.
Slow it down now, baby.
Let's just put it in this perspective, right? Let's say you're The Rock, right?
Yeah.
I am I'm Zazzy, I'm Zasloff. I come to you and I say, hey, Rock, hey, Triggs, I want you to run my DCEU. What do you think? Oh, well, I've been working on this Black Adam shit, and I have a whole future where I can get Henry Cavill come back in and Superman's back in. All right, you know what? That's great, Triggs. I'm gonna give you all the manpower, all the push. You do what you want to do. You go for it. And if this thing works out, you're gonna be the fucking man. Okay, you make your fucking movie, right? Some people like it, some people don't. It's considered a fucking tank. About a week after the movie comes out, unbeknownst to you, I give the DCU to Chris. Right? I give the DCU to Chris, and you're pissed now. But you can't say anything because you're a huge fucking star, and you will look shady by saying something about Chris. Right? Just let me finish before anybody goes in, right? You will look shitty saying something to Chris. So you chill. You don't say anything. You take your L like a man. You get hit by the bloggers, by the critics, because your movie's shit. And then you get humiliated publicly because everyone knows you were bidding for the DCEU that is now Chris's. And your first statement publicly is saying how Chris is going to do a good job. He is a good man. You're taking your chops like a man. And then the first thing publicly that was okay, because I would be damned if Chris is going to put out a statement without my consent as the owner of the company that he's working for now, saying about how you fucked up Chris's shit. What are you going to say to that?
All right, so let me break it down in the order of which you gave me all of my
That's a lot of stuff,
points, right? All right, so granted, I know this is all hypothetical, right? Let me preface.
That's exactly what happened.
I'm
using hypothetical people, but that's exactly what happened.
Okay, if that's the case, since that's the case, let me say this right now: the DCEU would have never been in good hands with The Rock. I'll say that right now. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
I get that. I'm asking you as The Rock. I'm asking
DC
you
has ever made.
I'm asking you as The Rock, how would you feel though? I get that. I think we can agree that DC is gonna be fucked regardless, right? But you as The Rock, how would you feel knowing that happened to you in that sequence?
Me as The Rock, I would have first told them, you are wrong for ever handing me these keys. Hand me the keys on a couple of IPs. Let me do that.
That's not
Secondly,
reality.
All right?
Okay, go.
Secondly, now, since, yes, that did happen and everything else has come out the way that it has, at this point, I'm just letting my publicist handle it, right? Like, I'm going to have to, because now as a human, I'm just going to be like, well, fuck you guys then.
This is not reality. This is not reality, bro. Tricks, I know for a fact, just the emotional aspect of a human being, you will be jumping out of your skin to want to be like, yo, fuck him, fuck you guys fucked me over, but you didn't do that. You sat quiet, you played it cool, you were a gentleman about it. And
exactly,
that's
exactly why your
first public statement was to congratulate Chris. It was to say, hey, he's gonna do a good job. You know what? I tried my shot at it. I failed. You know what? Thank you guys. Thank you, the fans. You guys looked out for me. But you know what? Give Chris your support. And then 2 months later, I think we lost.
And where'd you go?
But then, sorry, I got a phone call on my Facebook.
On his phone,
I'm on my phone right now.
I'll wrap it up because I'm going to take way too much time. And then 2 months later, some dickhead that's an actor that you don't give a fuck about is saying, hey, you fucked up my shit. You can't sit there and tell me that your first initial reaction is you going to me as the head of the studio saying, you know what? I don't know what you guys were thinking by giving me this shot. Get the fuck out of here, Tricks. Who are you talking to, bro? Like, come on, bro. Come on,
man. If I have an opinion on the thing, I don't think The Rock should have held himself as high as getting it from James Gunn, because James Gunn, of course, has more experience in that nature. So for him to even be put up against someone like James Gunn and think he's going to win based on just because he's got cool points, that doesn't carry or work for making a bunch of shit.
Again, I'm not arguing with you that standpoint. I'm not saying that The Rock should have elevated himself over anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm asking you how you would feel if you were The Rock in that position. I have yet to get an answer from either one of you.
You're going to be upset. Situation. Look, I'll answer it. You're going to be upset. Like, you're going to be upset. You're going to feel defeated. You're going to feel lied to. There's going to be a bunch of shit, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, and that's what you signed up for. Like, there's no way that he didn't know that was a possibility. Like, it's just what it is. But the moment that he got that call and said he didn't get it, that doesn't give him the right to say, okay, cool, well, you can't use my shit anymore.
He never got that call. He found out the same way we all got it. He found out. Exactly. That's another extra humiliation.
That's all right. He'll wipe away his tears with his $1 million. It's not gonna matter. I will agree with you. He ain't gonna lose sleep. That would have just been something that he added to his resume. And thank God it didn't happen, because I think he would have failed that shit too. So, like, yeah, that wouldn't be something I want to put on my resume either. But in the aspect of it, like, he should have just been like, okay, cool, well, I'll play ball. I'll go where you guys need me until my contract's done. I'll make a couple more millions and go. That's what he should have done. That's what he should do. And the reason why is because he's a fan of the character, from what he says. So he knows what the fucking character does in the comics. So he knows where the story is possibly going to go, which means he's not going to get a one-on-one with Henry Cavill. He's not going to get a fucking fight with him versus the Justice League. He's not going to get that shit. He's going to fight Shazam sooner or later, probably with Superman, and make a good fucking movie on something that people want to see, not something that he thinks people are going to want to see. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is, just in general.
Yeah. I honestly thought this would be like the last. Like, I would never in a million years have to defend The Rock, but I think that was some cold-blooded shit that happened to him.
I mean, it is, man, but it's show business. And if The Rock and Zachary Levi, okay, look, Zachary Levi on the whim is only popular because of the TV show Chuck. Like, he doesn't really have anything else other than that. He bought the show.
Like that's all I know Zachary Levi from.
Yeah, he bought the show Heroes, the TV show, and he tried to make a season of it, and it didn't work either. So the idea of, again, we're not going off of the popularity of Zachary Levi or the popularity of The Rock. We're going off of the idea is, do people care about Shazam? And I think Shazam is a better support character for the Justice League, not an individual movie maker. That's just what it is. He was the Fendril and Thor. Yeah, but nobody's going to remember that. But that's funny, though. Yeah, but that's just my call. I think DC's in a lot of shit show. Shazam, for what it's
They're in
worth,
trouble, bro.
Yeah, Shazam, for what it's worth, is an okay movie. It's not as bad as everybody's claiming it to be. For what it's worth, like, yeah, Zachary Levi ruined the shit out of heroes.
How do you not have a muzzle on Zachary Levi? Like, of all the people in fucking DC, he needs to have a fucking shut the fuck up, bro.
Look, it's one of those things, man. Like, everybody wants to save their shit right now. Like, especially in the DC world. If you know that there's a possibility that there's some iota to save your shit, you're going to run for it. And he's just trying to save face because he wants a job. I mean, who else is going to hire this dude?
Put a muzzle on fucking Zachary
No,
Levi,
like,
bro.
just
to be completely fair, you would never think that you would have to, right?
Yeah.
But here we are, dude. But here we are, man. Like,
look, it's one of those things. Like, look, I don't see any other company clamoring at the idea to let's hire Zachary Levi, other than just Chuck to Shazam. And I think Michael Betancourt said he was a Fendril and Thor, but that's like he took over in the second movie, and then he died in Thor Ragnarok with everybody else. Like, he was a throwaway character in that, but nobody's clamoring for him. The Rock is going to get work. Zachary Levi is not going to get work.
that's why. And my last point on this, I'll leave it alone. That's the main reason why I don't know why Zachary Levi is aligning himself with James Gunn and Peter Safran and not playing nice with The Rock.
Well, the Rock's not in charge of DC.
I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, there is a longer, there is a for me personally, I think there is a longer trajectory and longevity for The Rock than there is fucking Peter Gunn. Because if Peter Gunn fails this, he's done in Hollywood. I think he's done. He's done. And so is Peter Safran.
But there is going to be a strong chance that Zachary Levi is a part of the Justice League roster in the James Gunn film, which everybody's going to clamor to go see. Even if it fails, everybody's going to want to go see it.
Fuck out of here, man.
Right now, we all want to go see it just because James Gunn's going to do a Justice League movie, and I want to see what he's going to do.
Got me riding with the fucking Rock, and I can't stand that motherfucker, bro. That's crazy, yo.
Yeah, I can't stand it. I don't even know why you're fighting so hard, man.
Nah, because you know what? Because you know what? Right is right. No, because I will always be on the side of right is right and wrong is wrong. That's why.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, last point, guys, because I don't got a lot of time left. I got to get bouncing soon. Mandalorian season 4 or episode 4. What do you guys think?
Loved it.
I think it's going good. I think it's going all right, man. A little bit of wonkiness here and there, but not too bad. I think the idea of these people need to get off that beach. Like, they don't need to be laying on that beach no more, man. They need to fucking get out of that place. That motherfucking beach is dangerous as shit, dude. If you're a kid and you're a Mandalorian kid, like, your fucking years are numbered, man. You're numbered. I thought it was good. TV show's all right. Grogu getting in there, getting some action as a Mandalorian, getting his first piece of Mando armor. I was really anticipating a helmet, but we got
Me too, dude. Coaster. I really was too.
We got a drink coaster instead for his chest. All right, I'm good about that. For some reason, everybody was super excited about that random black dude. And everyone was hoping it was going to be, of course, fucking Mace Windu. And the door opens up and it's this dude. And then everyone was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then Google goes off and goes, and then everybody Googles and goes, oh, fuck, it's Jar Jar Binks. Thank God. So, but what's even cooler is the character that he is playing is an actual character.
It's an actual character in Star Wars lore.
Like a challenge show.
Some like deep cut. Yeah, it's like some deep cut shit. Yeah,
super deep cut. I was in Discord and I was like, don't any of you motherfuckers be like, yeah, finally. I was like, none of you guys saw this shit. Don't give me this garbage of everybody was excited. So this goes off to the theory that the motherfucking dude that's going to save him is actually Jar Jar Binks. And that's why this guy is there, because it's cheaper for them to bring him to Jar Jar Binks as the dude. So the ship that they left in is Jar Jar Binks' ship. Like, the actual Jar Jar Binks is going to be the dude that's their friend that they're meeting up with.
Fucking hope not.
Dude, you have no idea how my brain is like, dude, I
think there's zero shot that Jon Favreau would allow that to happen. There's just no way. There's no way.
Dude. I'm telling you, man, it would be silly if it's like they show up and they took the Grogu to Jar Jar Binks, and he's like, "Misa, happy you survived, sir," or whatever, and
I mean,
his
like
little character.
like Mike said, it is a Naboo ship, so you never know, bro.
No,
You
I
never
know, I know. It's
You
one of
never
those things.
know.
Like it is a possibility, but who would have thought that that's the dude? Like everyone, man.
There was so much speculation online
I
about
really
who
wanted Mace
saved
Windu, man. I'm
Grogu.
so tired. I'm so dying inside that I just want Mace Windu to come back because he's like the only character that died like in such a bitch way and didn't survive. Everybody else survives all this random shit. But
No,
what's cool is
Okay.
they made this guy's character a canon character.
Yeah.
Like he had this really cool potential that when they brought him on that show that they created, they told him, have fun, dude. Like do whatever you want with your character. Like, you know, make a backstory or whatever. And he made this like really cool story that he was like the dean of students at the Jedi Council for the younglings.
Yeah, he was definitely a badass. Yeah.
So really, really cool for them to bring it back and give this guy who had so much love and dedication to his character that they were like, hey, we're going to make you canon and you're going to save the most important youngling in the story.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. Like that was really cool.
And Michael Betancourt brings up a spectacular point that I didn't realize until yesterday. But that actor,
he had a rough,
dude, because there's been a lot of Jar Jar Binks hate
for a long time,
especially, you know, him kind of depicting an African American.
Yeah,
he got a lot of backlash for that. So yeah, he's had it rough, man.
I really hope for these next couple of years that he gets the love that he deserves.
Yeah,
because he really did very well, and he was spectacular in that episode.
And honestly, yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. And even with that aside, which is it's something I couldn't even imagine. I honestly wasn't upset with the reveal. I wasn't upset the fact that he was the one that saved Grogu. Yeah. Like, yes, it was a letdown because we all spent time speculating. We all spent time speculating who it could have been to save Grogu. But you know what? He was a badass, and I wasn't mad at it.
What a great way for them to give this guy a redeeming arc and help him out and build him in such a great way for his support. Overall, the show's been going pretty good.
Triggs, what did you think of the episode?
Yeah,
overall.
Dude, I actually give it a solid 7. Like, I thought it was a little wonky. Like Chris said, it was actually a little hard for me to follow at first because I was watching and then I was like, when the fuck did this kid get taken? And like, because it was so
like
quick.
2 days. He was like 2 days captured.
When the fuck did this happen? And I was like, oh, okay. And then like all this other stuff happened, and like the way that I'm really, really picturing this season going is it's going to be a uniting of like the whole Mandalorian culture, clans, and people, and they're going to go back.
I'm really excited for what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's going to be a unite like I'm not going to say a coming of age story, but it's going to be like a huge uniting of the Mandalorian like culture.
The only thing that I hope that they fix is that they stop dumbing down Din Djarin. They kind of make him a little bit more of his like, I like that swashbuckler silent type, but they're kind of dumbing him down a lot where he's making like stupid mistakes every episode. And they're picking up
I don't think that they're dumbing him down. I just think that they're showing that his capability is not as is still not on the level of some of the other ones, because like, yeah, he's doing stuff and he's super capable. He's still doing things, and like, I mean, like, who's the one who saved the kid? I mean, it was him. You know, like, who's the one who came in and saved everybody? It was him. So he's doing shit. It's just that like, you're finally getting to like fully getting to see the scope of what the Mandalorians are capable of, and he may not truly be at that like high tier as like everyone really thought that he was. Compared to other Mandalorians, he may not be quite as capable as the rest of them.
And real quick in the comment section, John Casillas, my boy John from Corpus asks, what about the scientist L-52? And Michael Betancourt says, also going back to John, the scientist L-52 is our first sign of the First Order as a covert force taking over the Republic from the inside.
Going back to last week when I told you why last week's episode was fucking amazing, because it is going to have such a long-lasting effect on the overall world of arcing story that we don't even know yet. That's why, like, I was watching that episode and I was like, yo, this is the beginning of Snoke. It could be the beginning of
it has to be.
It
Has
could
to
be
because all
yo
it folds into those stories later.
exactly like that. That's the reason why that episode was fucking amazing, bro.
But Mike can probably add support to this, but like in the Legacy and the Legend stories, they did clone Luke Skywalker several times. So like I do feel like they're using that cloning aspect as the next part of the story, where they're going to be cloning major contributors or players to the Jedis, the Sith, and all this other stuff, but as characters like they did the Stormtroopers, where they took the Stormtroopers, the best soldiers, and they tried to clone them to make the perfect soldier.
And what if this is the beginning of that? What if this is the beginning of that? What if that last episode?
I feel like it's going to be.
What if that last episode was the beginning? Now that the Empire has that technology, they have exactly what they need to clone.
I mean, sooner or later, we may even have a possibility of running into like a teenage or high school variation of Palpatine.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and that's what's even crazier is thinking that they could do that stuff. So, yeah, very cool. I believe the show is like a 7.5 for me right now. I'm really digging it. I think it's pretty good. It's way better than Boba. It's not as strong to me as the previous Mandalorian series, but of course, like we're still building and stuff. So, I have to see where it goes from here. What about you guys?
I agree with the assessment.
Yeah. Okay.
I think every episode is getting better. I wasn't high on the first episode, but every episode seems to be getting better and better. This episode this last episode was probably my favorite. Shout out to Carl Weathers for directing this episode. I think he did a phenomenal job.
It was good.
The directing was great. The cinematography was great in this episode. I kind of got lost with like the whole like losing the kid for like 2 days and not getting
it was kind of iffy
type of thing, but whatever. I'll
Mandalorians are
it.
silly, dude.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
We'll wait 2 days while the bird digests this kid.
Yeah, and fucking fat ass.
Hey man, they never said that they were good parents, bro.
Paz Vizsla out there getting all raw dogging on someone.
Fat ass rock climbing and shit. I didn't believe that either, but whatever.
I guess we all know that Paz Vizsla doesn't use a condom, but wears his helmet during sex.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, so we can all associate life with that other than the Mandalorian culture.
Yeah.
So real silly shit. Guys, we have not seen John Wick. Trig's gonna go check it out tomorrow, and hopefully we can go check it out the rest of the week.
I'm definitely seeing it. Yeah.
Most def. So we'll make sure we cover John Wick 4, Chapter 4 next week. And yeah. What did you guys think of the episodes that we covered today? What did you guys think of the Mandalorian season episode 4? What did you guys think? If you saw Shazam 2, let us know in the comment section. I want to say thank you to all of our extraordinary listeners. As usual, we appreciate every one of you for jumping in and talking to us. And even the new guys that jumped in from Twitch and YouTube, we appreciate all of you. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Brian Trigger, of course, I want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me, of course, here, talking and going crazy and bitch slapping around Zachary Levi and all that good shit. It makes me feel good that I'm not the only person that's going crazy watching this shit unfold in my life. And I hope that every one of you has a great and safe weekend. Tomorrow we're going to be at UCX. I have this cool thing. We got some cool little knickknacks that we're going to be selling. I got some little cool Eddie keychains from Stranger Things that we're going to be selling out over there at the show, little pop style. And my boy Robert, I hope I see you tomorrow, man. I went to an event this past weekend and I won some Undertaker poster that some guy made, and I'm gonna give it to Rob.
That was dope. That was dope. So, I saw it. Yeah,
he's like the first guy I thought of when I saw it. So I hope I get to see you tomorrow, brother. Cannot wait for John Wick 4, and I hope you guys do very well. Shout outs to Trigger on his new position. Congratulations, and have a good time in Austin, my dude. And we'll see you all again next Friday. I hope you guys have a safe weekend and have a great week. Let us know during the week in our Discord or our comment section what you guys want us to cover. And if not, we'll be covering whatever we see. And we hope you guys have a really safe week. And we'll see you guys again next week here on The Average Boys. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you guys again. Bye laters.
Peace.
Wow.